Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today because we are unboxing our brand new Cricut Mug Press and making our very first mug. All right guys, so I have been awaiting the release of this mug press ever since, I don't want to call it a leak, I will probably call it a strategic early release on Cricut's behalf, but ever since we saw the photo floating around on Facebook that Cricut was coming out with a mug press, and then they did do the official release, and then, you know, they were available in store, and I'm not gonna lie, I made sure to set my alarm so that I could order one to grab locally. So I am, needless to say, super excited. I did grab one box of each size mug. Now these are the ones that I bought are sold in 2-packs, and I think that's really convenient that I can just buy one or two, because a lot of sublimation mugs that I'm used to purchasing, which by the way will also work as long as they're the right size, but a lot of the sublimation mugs I was buying them by the case and I don't always need a case. So I was pleasantly surprised about that. And then of course I had to pick up some infusible ink, which is what we are going to be working with today. But for now, let's go ahead and focus on this guy here. I promised you guys an unboxing, and that's what we're going to do. Now, I have not opened this up in any format. We are going to cut the tape together right here, right now. I'll tell you what I do know so far is that you will need to have this hooked up to your computer, and you will need internet access to get it going. Now, the reason that I say that is because you will actually connect it to your computer and log into your Design Space account. Go ahead and register this, and then it will connect to your mug press to make sure that the firmware is up to date. Now, that's actually not a super bad thing. It can seem a little inconvenient at the time, but guys, that also make sure to register your machine for any warranty claims if you have to do that, and it locks it in to be used with your account. It's yours. It is 110% yours. All right, so I'm opening it up, and the first thing I see right here is this little package that says Open Me. Now, if you've been here for any of my Cricut unboxing before, you will know that I absolutely love their packaging. I think they really go above and beyond. They really get the packaging right. All right, so this does tell you to go to cricut.com/setup, and it's always going to give you some really good information. So definitely check out this little leaflet that they put in here. And of course, this is going to be your warranty information. So with that to the side, let's see what we have. All right, this is our mug press. And tucked in the bottom is our cords. We have a power cord and then the USB cord. So, but just to show you the inside, I always hang on to all of my Cricut packaging in case I ever need to, you know, make a warranty claim, but also in case I ever want to travel with it or if I'm going to move with it, because they really, I mean, you could tell that this packaging is molded exactly to the Cricut mug press. So I'm just a really big fan of the Cricut packaging. So enough about that. Let's go and talk about this guy. I'm going to go ahead and remove the plastic. All right, so what I have here, this is my USB cord. This is my power cord. What I'm going to do is I do want to go ahead and plug it in, if I can get it untangled. This obviously is the part that you want to connect to your mug press. And right back here, you will see your three-prong connection. And what is less obvious is that right above it is going to be your USB port. So I have those connected already. And I am going to, I'll bring my laptop over here, but I want you guys to see from the screen standpoint. So I'm going to switch over for you. But this is literally how easy it is to unbox it and get ready to set it up electronically. Now, once we set it up electronically, we are going to come back. I'm going to cut an infusible ink design with you. And on one of our new Cricut mugs, we are going to go ahead and press our design. So, like I said, I'm going to open up Design Space and show you how to register this and get it updated on the firmware. All right, guys, so here I am. I have opened up Cricut Design Space. This is just the basic home screen. And what I want to do is come up here to the top, and I want to go to New Machine Setup. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to choose a heat press, because this does fall in that category. And I'm going to select the Cricut Mug Press here. Now, I do already have it connected, just like I showed you in a few minutes ago, looking at the actual mug press, with the USB cord directly to my computer. And what it's going to do is also going to walk me through some best practices. So it says to make sure that you do have it in a well ventilated area, and also a heat resistant surface is obviously very important. You're going to make sure that you plug it in and power on your mug press, and here's where we connected it. I'm just going to choose continue at the bottom. Now, I do want to go ahead and agree to the terms of use and privacy policy. Feel free to give those a browse. It's always important to know what you're agreeing to. I'm going to choose Activate. Now, the Cricut Mug Press, it is right here with me. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through a series of updates, or just making sure that the firmware is up to date. And this is common for most machines, whether it's going to be a cutting machine or this type of heat press that has a lot of the automated features, okay? And you'll see more about that later. So now I can just click Get Started, and that is literally the end of our registration and or firmware update process. So it was really quick. I mean, you're talking about probably a minute, maybe a minute and a half, but definitely more around the minute mark. And I can now unplug it from my computer. I don't have to keep it connected to my computer. It does not have to be connected to my computer to work. It just has to be plugged in. So just to go ahead and clarify that, I know probably some of you had that question when you had to plug it in the first time, but nope, it does not have to be connected unless you were to have to do any firmware updates in the future. All right, guys, so here we are in the software, and it's time to go ahead and size and cut out the design that we're going to use with our mug press. So what I'm going to do, I am excited because I'm going to use my cute little Cricut Joy. I feel like I don't get to use it enough, and these mug projects are absolutely perfect with the Joy. So I'm going to come up here and change my machine selection to the Cricut Joy, and then click New Project. Next, I'm going to go to Upload, and I'm going to upload the file that I'm working with today. Now, of course, this is one I downloaded from Design Bundles, and it's just a cute little design that's going to go on my mug. So after I upload it, I will click on it and insert it into the cutting area. Now, I've already measured my mug for let me see, this is the 12-ounce size Cricut mug, and for that size you're looking at, if you're only doing a single design, you're looking at about a 3x3, maybe 3.5 wide. So let's go ahead and size this. I'm going to come up here on the toolbar, and on height I'm just going to type in the number 3. That's actually going to give me 2.764 inches wide, so that'll be good. I am going to come down here at the bottom and choose Attach. Make sure that my entire design stays attached together. I'm going to click over to Make It. Now it's asking me how will you load the materials for this project. Now, although I am using the Infusible ink that's sized for the Cricut Joy, I do still need to use it with my mat. So I'm going to click on that, click Done. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to rotate it. It doesn't make a huge deal, but technically my design is wider than it is tall. So I do want to try to conserve as much that's going to be left on my sheet as possible. And once you have it positioned correctly, don't forget that you do want to mirror, okay? And the reason we're mirroring is because the ink side of the sheet will go against your mug, but it does come on an adhesive backing. So we're going to mirror our design before weeding. So go ahead and hit Continue. And what it's going to do is connect to your Cricut Joy machine as long as you have it plugged in and turned on. Now for your base material, you want to select the Infusible ink option. So just go to Browse, type in Infusible, and your transfer sheet will come right up. Now for pressure, we'll leave it default, and then we will head on over to our machine and load the Infusible ink and let the Joy do its thing. Once the cutting is done, you can hit unload. Go ahead and remove this from your cutting mat. And then I can simply, if I want to, I can save this small sliver here on the side. And then what I'll do is I will actually roll that up and store it back in the box. Let's grab some tweezers. And I find that the infusible ink is easy to weed once you know what you're looking for. You need to peel it all the way down to the plastic, and sometimes it can be hard to find that in between layer. So once you get a grip on it, you can just start removing it off. Do be careful around the smaller pieces. But so far I haven't had any problem as long as it's not a design that is super, super detailed. Okay, so this is our design, and we will go back over to our mug press and get it pressed on a mug. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about getting started and putting this bad boy to use. Now there is a power button right here in the very center of the top, and this is actually going to be your adjustment lever for the pressure. All right, so important to know where those two things are. What I want to do is I am going to go ahead and power it on, and right now I get an amber light, and that is going to tell me when this mug press is ready to use. So while that's heating up, let's go ahead and talk about the mugs. This is the 12-ounce mug. It does come, like I said, 2 per box. I actually, if given a choice, prefer the larger mugs just because I do like larger mugs, but also the larger mugs have their own built-in boxes. So once I were done with this mug, I can just put it right back into the box, and either, I would not ship it this way, but I would give it as a gift this way. So we will be working with one of these later on in a future project, but I just wanted to show you the difference between the 2 mugs that you're gonna get. So this, like I said, is the smaller one. And as you saw, we did cut our infusible ink design. What I want to do, typically rule of thumb, is I do try to think about who is going to be using the mug. Now, this will be for me. I am right-handed, I drink right-handed, so I want the design to be facing out. So what I'm going to do, because the infusible ink does have the adhesive sheet, okay, I can just position it, just try to get it as straight as possible. There we go. Now, Cricut does have their own brand of heat-safe tape, but in case you already happen to have some, it doesn't have to be the Cricut brand. This is actually a brand that I purchased from Amazon. And I'm just going to use this to help secure the design on the mug. So what I'm going to do, because the infusible ink does try to, say, roll back up, I'm going to put 1 strip of tape on each side. I'll show you what that looks like. So there we go. This is what we're looking like for our mug design. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I am a little nervous, not about using the mug press, but about using it, and of course, keep in mind it's already heating up, but using it without anything protective on the inside. That's the sublimation user in me. So I did go ahead and I cut some smaller strips of butcher paper, and I can use that to cover my design. Okay, so there we go. I still left room on the handle, and what I'll do is I'll use another piece of tape to hold that on there. But like I said, this is just me. I've watched a lot of videos, and other people don't seem to be having any problems with, especially with the infusible ink, but I will also be using this for sublimation. So I kind of want to get in the habit, and I am already in the habit of making sure that I have the butcher paper on there. So it did beep to let me know that my mug press is ready. So let me slide this over. Now this is the slot that you're going to put your handle. Let's move everything else out of the way. And there is, if you look on the inside, there's a little silver pedestal. I'm not sure that you can see that well, but that is where the center of our mug is going to go. So I'm going to slide it down, okay? And I just want to make sure that my handle, I won't say centered, you'll see. Whenever you start to go ahead and apply pressure to close this, This is the part that moves. So you can definitely make sure that it is more to the, if you're looking at it, it will be to the left, okay? So slide this close. There we go. Now, this is gonna do its thing. It's going to show me the progress throughout the entire process of heating this mug with the infusible ink. Now, I will say that from what I understand, from what I know, because I did not build this myself, but this has, it fits both sizes, the 12 ounce and the 15 ounce, but it only fits certain size mugs. Okay, so if you already have existing sublimation mugs, they may or they may not work with this mug press because it is designed specifically for the Cricut mugs. It doesn't mean you can't use them, but it means definitely test them out gently first because you don't want to damage your press or damage the mug that you're using, right? So definitely check the measurements in diameter, make sure it's not too big. You also are not adjusting the pressure yourself. All right, because this is built to fit those size mugs, it literally takes care of the entire process for you. Drop it in, make sure it's turned on and ready, drop it in, and then close your lever here, and everything else is done. So it takes the guesswork out of using a mug press. So let's go ahead and let this do its thing, and then we'll talk more about it whenever it's done. Okay, so this did just beep to go ahead and let me know that it is finished. Now, I grabbed these at the dollar store and I am going to use them. What I'm going to do is remove my design. Now, you'll notice on the butcher paper, I did have a little bit of discoloring. That's completely normal. It happens when I use it for sublimation too. But I think the directions tell you to go ahead and wait. You guys know me, I'm not a patient person. So I'm going to use some tweezers and let me see if I can go ahead and remove some of this tape. Now remove the butcher paper. Now remember, very, very hot. It's been baking in the mug press, but I can already tell that I got really good results on this. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, so we are going to let this cool. I thought I could go ahead and take it off, but I think it needs to cool because the paper part of the infusible ink is still adhered to the mug. So we're going to set this aside to cool and then we will come back and take a look at it. All right, guys, I'm happy to report that this is now completely cool. Well, I guess I can feel a little bit of warmth, but it is cool to the touch. I can pick it up. It'll probably about 15 minutes. And when I pull this off, most of, let's see, let's just try. It looks like the infusible ink sheets are trying to come. There we go. A few of them are still stuck. That's okay, because I'll just be able to use my fingernail and get these off. But guys, I'm very happy with these results. I think that it came out very, very well. And my color is good. I got really good color. You can see a really good pattern from the infusible ink. So definitely very, very impressed with my new Cricut Mug Press. All right, it worked really well. It was easy to set up. I set it up with my computer, was able to do my very first mug right away. And I'll be interested to hear what question you guys have and what you guys think if you have made your own purchase. All right, guys, so what do you think about the new Cricut Mug Press? Now, like I said, I'm actually pretty impressed. I have used other mug presses in the past in a similar price range. Okay, let's keep that in mind. It is $200 for the MSRP. And for a similar price, I have not been super impressed with other cheaper models of mug press. So I am very happy to offer my very excited 2 cents about this Cricut Mug Press and hopefully help you guys make your decision too. Now, of course, our project turning out really good definitely helped the matters. And you know, I love doing these product reviews for you guys and sharing with you my opinions. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it too. It was a nice solid unboxing. And of course, if you have any questions that I didn't answer in the video or anything you want to try out or see with the mug press, definitely put that in the comments below. I do love to hear from you guys. And don't forget, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel because that helps us to support our little channel here and keep bringing you these videos in the future. So I'm going to wrap it up for today, guys, but I do certainly appreciate it. And we will see you again next time.